I tell you,
What is Chavez saying?
It sounds
He's waving over the referee.
I think he broke his hand. I think that's what he's saying. I broke my hand.
The referee was standing in the middle of the ring. Les Melton was not coming over to check on Chavez Jr. This is over. Exactly. Waving over, and he's done. Les Melton asked, do you want to continue? The answer is no.
That's the second time that Chavez Jr. retires in the corner. He did it against Fonfara, claiming a knee injury, and he's doing it again tonight, saying it was a hand injury.
But the facial.
And Danny Jacobs is there saying, hey, don't blame me. He stopped.
I'm sorry. Respect. Yes, sir.
Both fights where Chavez Jr. has been stopped, he stopped it himself, telling his corner that he's hurt and can't continue.
You see Jacobs there apologizing for the headbutt. Chavez went to the corner. He didn't sit down. Freddie Roach was standing up. They have the explanation, and we're not sure exactly what. Chris, you thought he heard him saying about his hand?
And look, the fans now are throwing things into the ring in the direction of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Immense disappointment. Julio Cesar Chavez himself, yeah, stuff is flying over our heads as well, coming in from the crowd. I don't know, are they upset that he quit? Or are they upset with the referee? Because the referee did not want to stop the fight.
No, I think they're upset
They're
that he
upset
quit.
that he quit. He resigned, he gave up, whatever you want to say. That's what they're upset of, because a Mexican warrior fights till the end. And that's the second time he resigned in the corner on his own.
Now, what do they expect when they come to his fights? They might get something, but again, we know the track record. We know what happened. Things are being thrown into the ring. It's not especially dangerous now. It's just a bit of a mess. Couple of knuckleheads in the crowd throwing things in there. Hey, you know what? You know, expect it. What if the guy ended up, and he did break his hand? You're going to blame him for that? I know what you're saying. He retired, right? He doesn't want to continue to fight. But if his hand is broken, if there's a fracture, well, what do you want from him? Well, we don't know just yet.
Well, he has a proven track record of a lot of things, and Fonfara stopped him, and it was a knee injury that he claimed. This time it's a hand injury. Yes, give him the benefit of the doubt, but that's the second time that he doesn't want to continue a fight while hurt.
That's Mickey Rourke in the corner now, coming in as it gets more surreal. Big crowd, you see some of the sodas being thrown into the ring.
The contest is over. Chavez finally.
Let's see this right hand from Chavez Jr. Oh, there's the right hand landed flush on the face of Jacobs. And that may have opened up the cut as well. Again, Chris Mannix thought he heard Chavez talking about his hand. I don't know what it was. We haven't heard definitively yet. But there's no question that the impetus came from Julio Jr. He was the one doing the talking in the corner. There's his dad, the Hall of Famer. Obviously disappointed.
And disappointed because that man wouldn't quit like that. That's disgust in the face of that man right there, of Chavez.
Yeah, that's
you
really,
fight till the end.
Now you're right, Sergio. It's a shame to even say, but he's disgusted with it. Things are being thrown around us. It's a bit of a mess here. They're trying to shield the fighters in the ring. Look at Danny Jacobs went up in triumph. He fought his fight, and he's saying, wait a second, don't blame me. That came from him. Now, Chris Mannix is, if he's not in the ring, he's getting in there, and we'll get word at some point to see just what it was. We can ask him as well. Maybe we can ask Freddie as well. Freddie, what was it? Hand? What was it? He couldn't breathe? Freddie Roach is saying what? He couldn't breathe? Did he have his nose broken?
Freddie's saying that he broke his nose and couldn't breathe. Chavez Jr. saying that it was his hand. I'm telling you, he didn't want to continue because he... Oh, wow.
Well, I just got pelted. I'm all right.
You okay, Brian?
Yeah, I'm fine. Well, Michael Buffer has left the ring. I just got nailed in the head with something.
Wow.
But just what a shame. I mean, it's obvious what happened, Sergio, and you're being blunt about it, and you're being right. He quit, right? And when I asked Freddie Roach, hey, what happened there? Was it his hand? Was it his nose? And he's saying, hey, it's kind of my hand. Other stuff is flying over us.
You watch my back, I'll watch yours, because that's ridiculous that you got hit with something right now. This is ridiculous. People throwing stuff in the ring.
And you're right. Look, you show respect to a fighter. Chavez was in there having reasonable success, a little more than we expected. But then for him to quit like that, sure, it's disappointing. But how outraged can you be? I mean, given the track record, what did they really expect? Did they expect him to go to war for 12 rounds?
That's the Mexican bravado. That's the passion of all these fans. That's why they're upset. They'd rather have a fighter like Chavez go out on his back than quit on his stool.
Well,
and that's the reason they're throwing stuff.
Well, sure. I understand it, and yet it's still just an outrageous response by this crowd who just feel like they can do what they want. They came in, they were excited to see their man, but that's the way it works. And Chavez Jr. comes in overweight, wouldn't take the drug test. That's why it's in Phoenix in the first place. At any rate, Chris Maddox is in the ring with Daniel Jacobs. Go ahead, Chris.
Daniel, congratulations. Obviously, this crowd is upset, but has nothing to do with you and nothing to do with your performance. So let's talk about that. Your debut at 168 pounds. How did you feel out there?
Well, to me, it necessarily wasn't my debut at super middleweight because this is so disrespectful, man. To me, he was a cruiserweight. Even his jab was heavy. His whole body, physically, he was a bigger man, and it showed. You know, I tried my best to be elusive and box, but he was heavy, and I tried my best to counter him with good shots, and slowly but surely I got my counter punches in there, and he quit on the stool. And they won't let me enjoy my victory, baby.
I know, you deserve it. You deserve it.
I'm from Brownsville. I never ran and I never will, but I'm going to duck these bear cans.
It looked like it took you a couple of rounds to get used to the size difference.
Yes,
the pressure, it seemed like it took you some time to get used to. How long did it take?
It took about 2-3 rounds, honestly, because I didn't know what he had left, if he was hiding something under his sleeve or if he was going to come with a barrage. But I just wanted to get acclimated to the punches. This is my first time fighting this is the biggest opponent I've ever had in my career. So I wanted to make sure that I can take the punches, I can bang if I needed to bang, box and brawl when I needed to brawl. But I knew it was a matter of time before he got tired. I tried to make my investments to the body. We was working on certain loops to the body because we see he was susceptible to that. But for now, I'm just comfortable with the victory. Obviously, they won't let me enjoy it. I know they're not mad at me. They're mad at Chavez, but I did my part.
There are certainly opportunities for you to get into big fights quickly at 168. Do you leave this fight thinking, I'm ready for those big names like Callum Smith, like Billy Joe Saunders, or do you need more time to adjust to the weight class?
Well, I didn't necessarily fight a super middleweight. I fought a cruiserweight, so it's really hard to tell. I want to move forward and prove that I'm the best. I felt great. Obviously, his punches was a lot because he was a bigger guy. So it just was a matter of getting acclimated. But I do feel like I want to move and step up in the right direction.
Does that mean a world title fight for you next year?
Exactly. That's exactly what that means. I want to fight the biggest names in the division. I want to fight them all. I honestly want Jamal Charlo, and I want a Triple G rematch. But if I can't get that, then I'll settle for the super middleweight division, getting comfortable here. There's Callum Smith, there's Billy Joe Saunders, and a bunch of other champions. So, but most importantly, I dedicate this fight to my friend Patrick Day. He was a special dear friend of mine. I love him very dearly. This was a tribute to him. I hope I did him very well. I did him proud. I know his family and everyone is watching back home in New York and Long Island. I just want to say I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. I'm going to donate the robe that I had and these gloves tonight to his family. And I just want to say he was an angel, and this was for you, Patrick. I love you, brother.
Congratulations, Danny.
Thank you very much.
Guys?
All right. Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. It's a bit of a mess here. Brian Kenny here ringside with Sergio Mora. Fans are still throwing things. There's fights breaking out. I don't feel especially,
I'm still watching out for anything. I'm still watching out for things flying.
Again, it's outrageous behavior, and it's ridiculous behavior. There's fights breaking out here. The guy quit. We get it. Later, we could find out all sorts of things, Sergio, including was his nose broken? We don't know. And you can't be stunned given the track record. But this is disgraceful. And next time you think there's going to be boxing in Phoenix, they're going to think twice about it. No question. With the way they reacted here and Jacobs leaving the ring. Actually to cheers. And I actually don't see anything raining down on him because there are plenty of classy fans here. They've been classy all week. This is just a little bit of, or a lot of bad behavior by the fans.